Hi, today I'm going to be playing through The Networks by Gil Hova, and I'm going to be pairing that with a bourbon, a malt bourbon from my home state of Iowa called Cedar Ridge Malt Rye Whiskey. It's pretty good stuff. If you can find it, I suggest getting it. It is great. Yeah, so let's get the Networks to the table. Let's get some whiskey in a glass and have some fun. All right, so here is the Networks all set up for a one-player game. They give you multiple of these boards here to set up your score track up here at the top. And as you can see, for different player counts, like there's a 2-player, 3, 4, and 5-player. This is for the single-player game, so you use that board during the setup. This board is also for one player only. And what these represent out here is when you get to the second round, your score marker needs to be where the purple is in order to get a benefit. And what that benefit is it'll remove one of these black cubes off of this, and I'll go over how you get those in a little bit. And then whatever your score is, if it's 60 or if you make it till 80, then that blue one marks the next spot that you have to get to in the 4th round. And then in the at the end of the game, you have to have scored at least 265, which is represented by the pink one underneath there, in order to win the game in a solo game. So that's what those markers out there are for. I'm the green player, so I'll be using the green scoring marker. Anyway, so what you have here is you have a bunch of shows that you can get in the first season up here. You have a bunch of ads here that you can get to put on those shows just to create some income for you. You have stars that you can have on shows, and then these are just network cards, which kind of give you like a one-time benefit or possibly end-of-game scoring, things of that nature. So that's all the cards out there, and this game is real simple. Basically, all you're going to do is you're going to take actions until you can no longer take actions, or until you want to pass. Then you pass, and then you just go on. You do some upkeep at the end of the round, like you basically score your lineup for your shows, you age shows, and then you set up for the following season, and you do that again. You do 5 rounds of that. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. Really fun game, though. Normally I like heavier games, but this one is super fun. It's got some cheeky humor in it. Like, for instance, one of my starting shows is Know That Rash. That's pretty great. Anyway, so that's the Networks. Let's get started. You do start the game with $5, which I've got here. And I'm going to go ahead and get the camera squared up. We're going to kind of ignore the board until I have to do scoring at the end of the round. And so then I'll refocus camera, and we'll do that. So I'm going to get the camera set up for the round, and we'll go from there. We're ready to go. And I think, let's see, as you can see, none of these shows that you start the game with score you any points. So I want to get those out of there and get some shows in their place. Based off of what's out there, yep, I am going to start by purchasing Charismatic Explosions up here. Very Charismatic Explosions, which, as you can see, wants to go on at a 10 o'clock time slot. It'll cost me $1. So I'll get rid of the 5. $4 back. And I can put one ad onto Charismatic Explosions. Since I have starting ad to go in there for Puxatawny Pizza and Subs, I can go ahead and add that to that show. And since it wants to go on at 10 o'clock, I'll replace Shopping Bag Review Hour with Very Charismatic Explosions. And that will flip and it goes upside down, and it goes into my rerun slot. So it went from having 0 viewers, and now at the end of the season, I'm going to get 1 viewer for it being in syndication. So apparently nobody wanted to watch Shopping Bag Review Hour while it was on the air, but now that it's off, oh, it's popular. So that was my first action, and now in a solo game, what you do at the end of your turn is you flip one of the network cards from the stack there, and that means you're going to get rid of one of the very left show. So Awesome Industrial Accidents, never going to get on the air. And you get rid of the leftmost ad. So Plaque Blaster Toothpaste was picked up by another network. And then that network card goes underneath the bottom of the stack. Same with the ad in that show. And now we're on to my next action. So Awesome Industrial Accidents was the only show currently out there that wanted to be on at 9 o'clock. So basically any one of those that are still out there want to go on at 8, which means I believe any one of them will be fine for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get a star, which will cost me $3. And I'm going to grab the Cheeky Friend. So she's going to go into my green room. And then flip a card, and we're going to get rid of a leftmost star. And this means you're going to add one of these cubes. So now, that just basically takes up one of the pass slots up on the scoring track, which it was 9 million if I passed first, 8 million, 7 million, 6 million, and 5 million. So now the highest I can get is 8 million. And the leftmost star is gone, so no socially conscious star. She went to another network. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and grab this network card here, which means that throughout the game, I can immediately drop and budget after an action, which is basically taking one of those slots up there when I pass. And at the end of the game, or at any point, I can discard this and get two viewers after I drop in budget. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna take that card. And now the first show and also leftmost star. I just realized that I forgot to show you guys this. When you put on one of these shows, what you do is you take one of these cubes and mark here that it's in the first season. And if you notice, if it's on its preferred time slot, you'll score 10 points. If it's not, you'll score 7. And then every season subsequent, it doesn't really matter. But just you go ahead and mark that you're still in the first season, and that's how you keep track of how old your shows are. But what I'm going to do is I could spend 1 million less every time I develop a show. That's a pretty good one. I'm going to take audience data there. So this will flip. We'll get rid of a star. And again, going to drop in budget on that. So that 8 million slot is now taken. So now the best I could get is 7 million at the end of the season. I'm going to go ahead and produce Old Folks Complaining, which I can place either a star or an ad on this. I'm going to go ahead and place the Cheeky Friend, which I have to rotate unless I have unused stars left in my green room, which I still have the failed mayoral candidate, so I'm good to go there. So I don't have to flip her. Notice that's how much extra points she'll score you. If I would have had to flip her, she would have decreased quite a bit. So Old Folks Complaining would have cost me 2, but because of my audience data, that's going to cost me 1 million less. So it'll cost me 1 million to put on Old Folks Complaining, and I'll put that in the 8 o'clock time slot. since that was its preferred time slot. Now, Know That Rash goes into syndication. And draw a network card. Got to get rid of a star. But since no star is out there currently, what we do is on the time track, one of these cubes we move down. So remember how I said at the end of the first round I had to get to at least 65 points? If I can get to 65 points, one of these cubes will go away. If at any point during the game your 5th cube goes out, you automatically lose and the game is over. So you want to try to get to those points to try to knock that back. So that's all that was done on that card. And back to my turn. I have no money left. I could take an ad to try to bump up my money production. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this Thumb Station video game console, which will get me $2 immediately. And that just goes into my green room. Take $2. And then, for their turn, the leftmost show is gone. Celebrity rhinoplasty never went on the air. The first network card is out. And again, drop in budget. So, at this point, there's not much stuff left out there. So 2 of the slots are empty. Which means if either of those come up on this network card, that's going to put out more of those black cubes on the turn order track. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pass at this point. So I drop and pass. And if you look up there, I just moved my thing onto this up here. So I'm going to get $6 million at the end of the round. So I take that, and now at the end of the round, what you do, let's look down here. At the end of the round, you're going to do income and expenses. So right now, I have an expense of $1 million here, $1 million there. So that's $2 million that I have to cover. I'm making $1 million off of this ad, so that's going to be $1 million. So I owe $1 million. So that's income and expenses. Now we score the lineup and reruns. At this point, I'm getting 11 points off of old folks complaining, no points for grilling with milk, and then 10 points for very charismatic explosions. So that was 11 and 10 puts me at 21 points. Plus, I get 2 for my my reruns, so that puts me at 23. So that's, I score 23 points. Didn't quite make it to that 65, which is unfortunate. So now I age shows, so that's going to drop down. That'll drop down. And now both of these reruns go into the archives and can no longer score me points. Now we set up the next season. So I will go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back. Alright, so we're all set up for the second round. I got 23 points. I got to get to 65 by the end of this round, so that's 42 points I've got to score. That's pretty. It's a pretty large amount. So I believe to start off, I want to try to get something in the 9 o'clock spot. Unfortunately, none of the ones that came out want to go on at 9. So I think I want to try to find something that isn't going to have a big deficit between the two. Saying it looks like Cringe might be my best bet. And what's my lowest scoring? Lowest scoring would be Very Charismatic Explosions this round. So maybe I want to put Cringe on at 10 and find something else for the 9 o'clock spot. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the Medical Drama Mainstay for $3. That's 5, get 2 back. She'll go ahead and go into my green room. We're going to get rid of the leftmost show, so the cubicle Not going to go on air. We'll get rid of the leftmost ad and leftmost network card. It'd be nice to get another ad to get some money coming in. Unfortunately, none of those really give me much. Oof. So, I'm just going to take this promo, which is going to get me $1. Taking that, that goes into my green room as well. Network card, so leftmost show, Sports Edges is out. Leftmost ad is gone. And we're going to drop in budget. Now that Eureka Og is almost gone, I think I want to try to get that onto the air. It's going to cost me $3 million to put it on. And I can put that with a star, so I'm going to use Medical Drama Mainstay, and I can do an ad. Oh. Yep, I'm just going to go ahead and put that on. So now, Grilling with Milk goes into rerun. And draw a card. Star, Femme Fatale is gone. The ad is gone. And leftmost network card. Well, I only have $200. Oh, I should have paid $1 million less for Eureka, so I should have had $1 back. That was because of my audience data. So I have $3 million, which isn't enough to do cringe. I'm just going to go ahead and take this market research, which counts as any genre icon when determining if you get a genre bonus. So the way genre bonuses work is if you get 3 of one type of show, which you can always tell by the color or the little, like this is green, or you can tell by it has this rocket ship. So this is a sci-fi show. So if you get 3 sci-fi shows on your network, then you'll get a bonus. And the bonuses are you can draw 3 ads, keep 1, and then the other 2 that you discard, you would gain the money that they would normally get you for taking them. Or you could take draw 3 stars and then keep 1. The rest of them just go back. If you get 5 of one type of genre in your network, and that includes shows in archives and reruns, like every show you've ever done. If you get 5 of a like genre, then it allows you to draw 3 network cards and keep 1. So kind of specializing on specific style of shows can really benefit you. So I took that market research card. We are going to get rid of the leftmost star and the leftmost network card. I still can't afford to do anything out there, so I'm going to go ahead and drop in budget, which is going to get me $8 million for dropping and budgeting. And now we can go ahead and do income phase. So again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million in expenses and 1 million in revenue, so that's 4 million that I gotta pay. And that was income and expenses. And now score lineups and reruns. So I've got 11 million from old folks complaining, 11 viewers. For Eureka Og, that was here. It's not on at its proper time, so that's going to be 4 plus 2 is 6. So I'm up to 17. And then Very Charismatic Explosions is at 10. So I'm at 27. And then I have 1 in reruns for Grilling with Milk. So 28 is my score. So that's 23 and 28, 51. So now we age shows. And Grilling with Milk goes into archives. And now let's look up at the scoring track here. So, as you can see, I needed to get to 65. I only made it to 51. So I did not get the bonus for making it to 65. So that can go away. This blue marker will now go into 51. So by the end of the 4th round, I have to have 151 points, or again, I don't get the bonus. So you're just trying to get 100 more points. So that is the end of the round. So now we can go ahead and set up for the next season, and I will be right back. All right, so we're ready for the 3rd round, and I think I am going to start by developing the baccalaureate, which will cost me 1 million because of my 1 million discount. So I can put on 1 ad, or I can put on 2 ads if I'd like. So that'll cost me 1 million. I'm going to do this promo, which if I pay 5 million, I don't have to rotate it, which will give me more viewers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that'll in total cost 6 million for those 2. And I am going to go ahead and put on this ad as well, which this will go into the preferred time slot at 10. So again, I don't have to rotate this one. So those go on at 10. Very Charismatic Explosions is going to go into reruns. The Baccalaureate is on first season. And the ad that was underneath that was on Very Charismatic Explosions just goes out of the game. So that was my first action. And it looks like we're just going to be getting rid of the leftmost ad. So Crazy Pete's Discount Plutonium. Okay, second action. Let's see, I want to get probably Old Folks Complaining. Get that into reruns. So that means that I want something on at 8 o'clock. The only thing out there is Criminal Mindfulness, which is going to cost 5 million. Ooh, lordy. That's expensive. Alright, well, I guess that means I'm going to take Harry Hamburger's ad, which will get me 2 million, and the reason I chose that is it wants to go on at 8 p.m. So that goes into my green room. I will get 2 million. So I'm up to 3. And we're going to get rid of the leftmost star, leftmost ad, and we're going to do a drop in budget. Now I don't even know if I can afford to do Criminal Mindfulness. So that means I might have to change plans and put on something at 9, but those are also 5 million. Ooh. I think what that means is maybe I need a plan for the next round. So let's go ahead and just take this card. It's just going to go ahead and get me 5 viewers. Nice and easy. So 56 points. And let's see. Oh, yep. All right. Well, so that's going to be leftmost show, get rid of leftmost star, and get rid of leftmost network card. So late night talk show host is gone, showrunner gone, and leftmost show. So communist-y is out. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this cable series star just to get myself another star, which will cost me 3 million. And network card, it's just going to be the leftmost network card is out. So All-Star Cast, no longer available. I'm going to go ahead and grab this last network card, which is a one-time thing. So when I develop a show or attach a star or ad, I can use the star and ad icons interchangeably. So it doesn't, I don't have to, I'm not pigeonholed by that. And I'm going to go ahead and use my preempted time slot to go ahead and drop in budget, which is going to get me $8 million. And that is the end of the round. So income and expenses, I have 4 million in expenses and 5 million income. So I'm going to gain $1 million this round. Hey. And score lineup and reruns. So that's 8 for Old Folks Complaining. Yeah, Eureka was at 11, so 8 and 11 is 19. And the Baccalaureate is 11 as well, so that is 30. Plus 2 for reruns, so 32. 32, 38, 88. 88 at the end of round 3. Not doing very good this game. I can age shows. So Old Folks Complaining is in its 4th season. Eureka is in its 3rd. And the Baccalaureate goes to its 2nd season. So that's the end of that round. I'll go ahead and set it up for the next. Okay, we're all set up for the 4th round. I believe I'm going to start by getting rid of Old Folks Complaining because I'm only getting 2 points off of that one per round. And I think I'm going to start by developing So You Think You Can Flail, which will cost me $1 million to develop that for my discount. And I can put on 2 ads if I like. I have to put on 1. I'm going to go ahead and put on Harry Hamburgers, which wants to go on at 8, so I don't have to flip it. And yep, so I will go ahead and replace Old Folks Complaining. There's So You Think You Can Flail. And that is my 3rd reality TV show. So that's going to allow me to take either ads or stars. I'm going to go with ads. So I draw 3. And then I pick one to keep. Don't think I want to keep that because it goes on at 8. I think I do want to get rid of my 9 o'clock, so I think I might keep Persnickety Pizza. So that means the other 2 will go away. I will get 4 million from those. And Persnickety Pizza goes into my green room and take 4 million. So 1, take a 5 back. Alright, and that was the end of my turn. So now we're going to get rid of leftmost show, and they're going to drop in budget. Okay, next, I think, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I am going to go ahead and do advertising push, which I can either get 3 viewers or I can pay $10 and get 10 viewers. I'm going to pay $10, get the 10 viewers, since I finally actually have some money. So I go up to 98 points, still not breaking 100. This flips leftmost show and a star. Gone. I'm going to go ahead and take this ad, which will get me 3 million. And leftmost show and star, and they're going to drop and budget. So quiver is gone, so is the Shakespearean train star, dropping budget. Well, I was really hoping to get Quiver. I can't. Do I get Paisley? Paisley is the new burnt umber? Yeah, I guess so. I'm going to go ahead and spend $4 million to produce Paisley is the new burnt umber, which I can put on a star and one of my choosing. I'm going to go ahead and put on this cable TV or cable series star. And I'm going to put on an ad, the persnickety pizza, because the ones go on at 9. So that will replace Eureka Og, which goes into syndication. I'm going to go one more round, so let's see what happens at the end of my turn. Oh, show, so that means another thing on the turn order track. Get rid of an ad and drop in budget. So Krakatoa instant coffee gone. Drop in budget. Let's go ahead, take Sweeps Week. And then I am going to go ahead and drop in budget after that, which will get me $4 million. Alright, so that is the end of the round. So now, income and expenses. I've got $1 million in expenses, but I've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in income. So I'm going to get $8 million. Rolling in money all of a sudden. And now scoring lineup and reruns. So $9 million, so you think you can flail. $9 million for Paisley is the new burnt umber. And 14 for the baccalaureate, so that puts me at 32. I have 5 in reruns, so 37. So 37 with 98, so 105, 135. The end of round 4. Again, I did not meet the goal. So now all my shows age. So you think you can flails in its second season. Same with Paisley is the new burnt umber. And then the baccalaureate in its third season. So that's the end of the round. I will go ahead and set up for the 5th and final season. Alright, we're all set up for the last season. And not feeling super great about what I have out here. Definitely want to get the baccalaureate off of the air because I'm only getting 10 points off of that and 13 off my other 2. So a 10 o'clock show. The broken worse up there would get me some points, but only 6. So the limping, treated, and released will get me 7. So I think that is the winner. And I might want to get Paisley as the new burnt umber off the air as well, which means How I Left Your Father. I might need to get that as well. So let's start by getting a star. I'm going to get the guy that always dies in everything for $1 million. So I pick him up. Now, only the leftmost ad is gone. So, conspicuous watches. Nobody's buying that ad. Alright, so now, How I Left Your Father. Let's get that on the air. So that will cost me $4 million to get How I Left Your Father. And I can put a star on. If I do that, I will get 4 points. If I do this, I would get 1 point. Plus 2 is 13, so this is actually going to be more. If you notice, I can rotate it or not. It's my choice. So this will be 1 extra point. So let's put that underneath there. And let's go ahead and stick this other star under there. It's a couple points. So that's going to go on my 9 o'clock spot. And that is on at the proper time. that is out, and that star is out. And get rid of leftmost show, star, and add. So I'm going to spend 1 million to get that soap opera star. Now that flips star, network show, and drop in budget. Now reality show. Alright, back. I'm going to take syndication. And I'm also going to play sweeps week. Which either allows me to take an extra action or draw 2 network cards and keep one. I'm going to draw 2 network cards and keep one. Both end of game scoring ones. Score 2 viewers for every pair of stars and ads you have across all your shows in green room. Or score 2 viewers plus 1 viewer for every 1 million you receive from ads on active shows. I think I like that more. So I'm going to keep big game. Alright. So now, draw a card. Just going to drop and budget. Now, I'm going to spend 4 million to do the limping, treated, and released. And that allows me to put a star and then an ad if I like, which I am going to do. So this star will have to rotate. That ad goes on. Now that's on at 10 o'clock. The Bachelorette goes into reruns. And those ads are gone. Now, get rid of that, and also going to drop in budget. I'm going to take the Potato Man, which gets me 3 million, so it's 2 back, I'll take 5. And leftmost network card, and another drop and budget. I should have done this market research with either of these 2 shows when I put them on, because that would have gotten me an extra either ad or star. And I will go ahead and grab, I'll play that and grab ads. It doesn't really matter. I will do the Stay Tuned, which will, so I will get 5 million off of these 2. And now for my actual action, I'm going to play Stay Tuned onto this, so you think you can flail because it can take another slot. I am going to drop in budget at the end of my turn, which gets me 2 million, and I will discard this to get the 2 viewers. So I am at 137. That was the end of that round. So now income and expenses. I have 2 million in expenses and 5 million in income, so that's 3 million. So I'll put 2 back, I get 5. And score lineup and reruns. So I'm going to get 15 off of So You Think You Can Flail. 9, 10, 14 off How I Left Your Father. So it's 29. And 9 off of The Limping, Treated, and Released. So that's 38. And 8 in reruns. It's 46. Plus, with syndication, each of my reruns scores 4 additional viewers, so that's another 8. So, 46, that's 54. So that was 54 points that round. So 137 and 54 is 41, 191. So now everything ages. So you think you can flail moves down. How I Left Your Father. And Tire Limiting and Released. And the reruns go into archives. And then for the end of the game, then what you do is you also score all of your shows again after they age. So that's going to be 13 for So You Think You Can Flail, 11 for How I Left Your Father. It's me at 24. 12, so 36 for all of the shows. And then I score unused stars, which I don't have any. And then score in-game network cards, which I have 1, which is going to get me score 2 viewers plus 1 for every 1 million I receive in ads. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 127 or 227 is 234. I lose. Go figure. I've won like most of the games I've played of this, but apparently if I record it, I do terribly. So let's figure out what the lesson is in that. And I'll put this away and then we'll discuss it.